Hi everybody, it's been a while since I've done a video, but it's time for me to do a review of Not Destiny! No, this is a review of Warframe, and it's not, I can't, it's not be a complete review because I wasn't able to get to the part where I had to customize my character and do mods and all that stuff. So unfortunately I cannot cover those. So that's a major thing that I am going to not cover, and as this review goes on, you'll know why. So first, let me talk about the graphics, the environments, and stuff like that. I was actually quite impressed. There's really good design here, um, and the graphics are really good too. And the only time I've seen any slowdown, major slowdown, is during the loading screen. Now, I played this on the Xbox One. I haven't played it on PS4, so I don't know if the loading screen freezes up like it does on Xbox One on the PS4. Okay, so yeah, good looking visuals. Now let's go to gameplay. Combat is pretty fun and very simple and easy to grasp. Parkour is not only easy to grasp, it's actually, I think, even better than Titanfall. It's actually even more reliable because you don't have to, because you can just keep going all the way to the end of the wall, and you can even wall wall run up, like straight up, which surprised me. I was like, wow, cool. You have really cool melee combat and third person shooting mechanics as well. So that's a pretty cool design to have. That way you can mix up your combat if you get tired of doing the same thing over and over. So that's really cool. So yeah, there's a lot to like about this game, really. And guess what my review is? Thumbs down. What? After all that praise I gave it, I'm giving it thumbs down. Why? Hacking. Let me tell you why I believe the hacking mechanic is flawed. Two reasons. Number one, the time limit is too short. That's number one. Now, I've played, because I've played, mini games like this before, hacking mini games. I've played them in Mass Effect 1. I played them in Mass Effect 2. I played them in Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea Episode 2. And Bioshock 2. This is the most frustrating hacking gameplay ever. The most frustrating hacking minigame I've played that I can remember. So number one, the time limit too short. Number two, and this is the one that pissed me off the most. You have, in order to highlight a cell, you have to make sure you are holding the left stick. That's right. Instead of it being highlighted, instead of when you highlight a cell, when you can normally in most mini games you can let it go, you can let go of the left stick, and it'll stay there. No, not here. You have to concentrate on making sure that stays and making sure that you don't accidentally roll it over to a cell you don't want. All while trying to solve the puzzle. So after 10 times of trying to solve the puzzle, I gave up. In other words, because of those two mistakes, having to have your thumb on the left stick the whole time and holding it in place with a very, very small time limit, very short, combine those two, and you have something that stops the game in its tracks for me. Literally, stop me in my tracks. That puzzle mechanic ruined the entire game for me. The whole thing. So, that's why it gets a thumbs down. And it sucks because everything else about the game is pretty fun. Not great, but fun. But that one puzzle mechanic one hacking minigame kills the whole thing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Mike, you're stupid. I've done it. I got past it. Well, let's say that's true and I am stupid. I was able to grasp every other gameplay mechanic. Well, I haven't gotten to, um, upgrading and stuff like that yet, but everything else other than the hacking minigame, I was able to grasp pretty well, pretty quickly. Very simple. So you mean to tell me that everything about the game is simple, but you have this one game, you have gameplay mechanics. All of them are simple and easy to grasp, except for one. If that's the case, then there's balancing. That's a balancing issue. Because and it's a pacing issue as well. Because you're supposed to be able to do it quickly, yet unless you're smart, you're not going to make it far. Yet even a dummy can, apparently, if I'm stupid, a dummy can play every other aspect of the game. So, yeah, whether I'm stupid or not, the hacking ruined the game for me. It stopped me in my tracks. And it's not like I can, or have somebody come out of my house and beat it for me, or since it's next gen and everything's cloud, I could go to their house and have them beat it for me there. But not everyone has that option. Some people literally are loners. And also, another thing I need to say about this game, this is not necessarily a criticism of the game itself, as it is a disclaimer, and I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it because nobody else has said this. You need a faster internet connection to play this game and every other Xbox One title that I've played than you would a 360 game. So again, because my internet slowed down this week, it just now sped up enough for me to play. I couldn't play earlier because my internet speed was too slow. Again, this is not a problem on 360, so again, I stress unto you all that you need a faster internet connection on the Xbox One than you did on the Xbox 360. No one has said this. I'm going to keep repeating it till it catches on. So, yeah, that is something that needs to be said more often, I think. You need a faster internet connection on the Xbox One than you do Xbox 360. Okay, but that's just that's a side note, but I brought it up again because it was relevant to this game, because I ran into that issue again because this is an online-only game. But yeah, this game would have been a thumbs up if they didn't screw up the hacking mechanic. And all they had to do was two things. Extend the time, give me like at least a minute or more, and two, don't make me have to touch. Don't make me have to keep my thumb on the left stick to hold something in place while trying to figure out the puzzle in a short amount of time. So yeah, thumbs down for Warframe. I despise this game now. And it's a shame, because I would have liked it. But as it stands now, it's a piece of garbage. I hate it, and all because of this is an example of a tiny gameplay mechanic flaw ruining what could have been good and ruining the whole thing and making it not worth playing. Because there are other games I could be playing that offer similar mechanics as Warframe that don't put me under that frustration, that I don't get stuck on, that I could keep going on. So, yeah. Unless you're smart enough to figure out these puzzles, well, skip this game because you're going to get stuck. You're going to get stuck. You're not going to be able to continue unless somebody beats it for you. And here's a rule I have about games. If I can't finish the tutorial on a game, that game is not for me. Now, you know me. Sometimes I know when to criticize a game for its difficulty or blame myself or simply say that it's not for me. There are games that are difficult for me that I don't give thumbs down to because I simply acknowledge that they're not for me. Let's see. I'm trying to think of an example of this. I can't think of any right now, but there are games out there that I cannot play because they're just too hard for me, and they're just not. Oh, first-person shooters. Any first-person shooter, any multiplayer shooter, I die on a billion times on. But that's because I suck, and that's nothing wrong with the gameplay mechanic. But here, in Warframe, with the hacking minigame, the flaws that I see in it, that ruined the whole thing for me, and as far as I'm concerned, that is a gameplay mechanic flaw. Because everything else is pretty easy to pick up except that. Now that tells you that's so. If I'm an idiot, there are balancing issues because I'm smart enough to figure everything else out, but not the hacking game mini game. So yeah, that little thing ruined the whole thing for me. So I'm giving it a thumbs way down. I'm going to be shitting all over this game constantly. Like whenever I see someone play it, I am going to shit on that game. I got so mad at this game that it pissed me off that people played it. And that people got farther than me on it. Because it makes me look like an idiot. It makes me feel like an idiot. So I'm like, uh, if you like this game, that pisses me off. You piss me off if you like this game. And I shouldn't feel that way. It's not fair. But that's how much this game upset me. So yeah, thumbs down for Warframe. Thumbs way down. Skip it, play something else. If you're smart enough for it, you'll like it. Otherwise, if you're a dummy like me, which is pretty much the average American, let's be real here, the majority of us aren't going to get very far. That's all I got to say now, and thanks for watching. And if you're still my friend after this, well, you're a good person.